You just want to get a payout. You just want to get consistently profitable at this. Just tapped into that M1 demand. So like I mentioned, that M1 demand was going to be a level that we would have to be watching out for. Now we need to see us break past that. You can see we bounced from here. That's what gave us a push up to this level and then went lower from there. Very good example though on why multiple time frames and confluence is key. Good morning everyone, happy Wednesday. Gonna start live trading with the team here in about 15 minutes. Did my run this morning, had a little bit of breakfast, so I'm chilling. But hopefully today's gonna be a good day. Hopefully we can catch a W. If we see something and price action's looking good, we'll take it. If not, I'm gonna be staying cash. With all the news in the market going on, you know, with this whole war thing and stuff, we might not catch anything. It depends how volatility is and stuff. We did have a lot of bullish momentum coming into the market last night. So I'm looking to see a pullback. I would be more interested in shorts today. So hopefully that can play out. Hopefully we can find something that's worth taking for us. But if not, we'll stay cash and hopefully catch one or two more trades later this week. That TV, remember, that's the broken TV. Still haven't thrown it away. I'll get fined if I throw it away here, so I got to take it to the dump, take it somewhere. So I don't know. I got to do that eventually because it is just not looking good there. But yeah, that's what I'm really interested in. I'd rather the shorts over longs with all that bullish momentum. I think we'll get a pullback, but we just got to stay patient, stay disciplined like we do literally every single day. The market conditions we're in right now, especially with all this war news, stuff like that, these are the type of market conditions that people blow their accounts on. So we're going to manage risk very correctly. We're going to stay disciplined and we're going to stay patient. Those things right there are going to help us keep our accounts long-term, keep us profitable, stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead, go upstairs, get ready to start live trading, and you guys will see some clips. As of right now on the H4, it's looking like it's gonna wanna give us a pullback, which I would totally be fine with, to be honest. So notice how we bounced from this level perfectly and got a straight push to the upside. Yeah, I kind of would like to recover some of this move, to be honest. I feel like we were so bullish. I don't know if it wants to continue, to be honest. All right, so if we were in this trade, we'd be floating in some profit. There's an M1 demand right there. So if we do decide to go lower, I wanna see how we're gonna react when we tap into that level. Very good example though on why multiple time frames and confluence is key. Wanted the entry off the M5 and didn't get an accurate entry, but price came to the next level of supply, which was this M1, got a rejection from there. If you are risking 500 and you still feel like the losses are affecting you a lot more than they should, next time you get on a funded account, drop your risk to 250. Try it out, see if it helps you. You're not gonna be making as much, but you have a way bigger buffer before you can blow your account, right? And realize you just wanna get a payout. You just wanna get consistently profitable at this. So lower your risk. Ended up taking no trades today, but I rather place no trades than have an L trade. But in this example, we could have caught a W. So this is on NQ. Now we have two time frames of confluence right here, M1 and an H1. Entry would have been off this M1. You could see we would have taken a little bit of drawdown, whatever, right? Price would have went to the next level of supply, which in this example was this H1 right here. And we got the rejection from there. As you could see, literally price went down from that H1. Now, that's why multiple time frames in confluence is key, because if this H1 wasn't here and we had no other time frames in confluence within our stop loss, price most likely just would have kept going up and would have went to stop loss, right? But got the rejection from there, just kept on going lower and lower, right? Now, this setup right here, or these levels right here, I should say, we were expecting a bounce from there, had three time frames in confluence, in M1, M15, M5, and you can see we bounced from here. That's what gave us a push up to this level, and then went lower from there. Now, we also was looking at a spot on Dow too, right? Dow kind of played out pretty similar. So this is a level on Dow. Was possibly looking for shorts here, but again, just ended up not taking it between the whole war and stuff, price action, blah, blah, just ended up placing no trades. But you can see, got to move from these levels down here up to here. We had an M5 and an M1 level of supply in confluence. Entry would have been at the M5. You can see we would have taken some drawdown, tapped into this M1 perfectly multiple times, got the move from there, had some weird volume come in at like 10:08. That would have gave us a TP1 if we were in this setup. Then we would have got stopped out at break even right here. And then you could see price just went lower and just kept on going lower and lower for a while. So ended up having two trades where we could have made some money today. But like I said, I wasn't really liking price action. I wasn't really, all for that. So Ended up staying cash day. We did miss out on those setups, but like I mentioned, I'd rather have a no trade day than an L day. This is discipline. My team knows we show up. If we see a setup we really like and price is looking good, we'll take it. If price is not looking good, we don't see a setup, anything like that, we're staying cash. I'm big on discipline. I'm big on patience. That's how I've been able to become profitable, and that's how I want them to be able to become consistently profitable as well. So we worked on that today. We talked about that, but overall, it was a great session. I mean, you guys seen some of the clips. Even though we did not place any trades today, we still chop it up. We still talk. We still try to learn, dial in on psychology, stuff like that, right? But no trades today, so got to carry on with the day now. Well, you see how that ended up. Ended up placing no trades for the day, but I'd rather have a no trade day than a losing day. So it is what it is. We still showed up, marked out our levels, read price action, chopped it up, stuff like that. So can't really complain too much. We're here, we're doing what we love. Even though we didn't make any money today, we did not lose money. We still followed our rules, everything. But as of right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go take a shower and stuff like that, because earlier I did my run, then I just hopped on the charts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go take a shower and stuff, and then I'll probably pick up the vlog there and we'll try to get something done. As you can see, I have FX Replay on the screen, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a challenge. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the same parameters as Lucid Trading on their 50K accounts. I'm gonna put it on here, and basically I'm going to be passing a challenge account within 10 minutes using my strategy. So you can see duration's 10 minutes. We go to Lucid Trading, here's the 50K. We have a profit target of 3,000, max loss limit 2,000. So let's set account balance here. Profit target 6%, max drawdown 2%. Available assets, we are only gonna put NQ because I mean, you guys know that's basically what I trade. Why isn't it typing? Here we go. And I think that is everything. Let's turn public match off, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to make no cuts whatsoever. If anything, you guys will see me speed up the video, but the timer will be right here. So keep an eye on that if you want to just see if I'm cutting it out or anything, but I am not. I'm going to pass this within 10 minutes using my strategy. So let's go ahead and get started. I like this right off the rip. And I'll tell you, the first thing I'm looking at is sells from this supply level right here. So we only have 10 minutes. You can see the timer right here. What I want to do is look at this on the higher time frame real quick. Okay, so actually let's start all the time frames that I'm going to be looking at. We'll take the time to do that just so this will save us time in the future. So let's look at the 5 minute real quick. 5 minute, not so interesting actually. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and mark this M1 out real quick. Now, I'm not going to spend the time to actually change the color of the lines or anything like that. I am just going to label each one. We're not going to make a template or anything. So we're on the M1 time frame. I'm going to go ahead and mark that out with M1. Don't like those wicks right there. I'm not going to lie. Let's go to the M15. M15's right here. We're already past that. Not interested. Not interested in that. Wait a second. Higher time frame, really bullish. So that's why it's important to go look at the higher time frame. 1 hour is bullish, 4 hours bullish. So on the lower time frames, I was interested in sells, but breaking down, looking at each and every time frame, I wasn't too interested in taking it because there's no other time frames in Confluence. But what I am interested in is marking out these demand levels right here. So that's a H4. And basically what I'm doing is just marking out my levels of demand down here, because as of right now, with the way this is stacking, it's looking like I'm going to be pretty interested in taking longs. Now, I'm not a big fan of this M15 candle, I'm not going to lie. So what I might do is wait for a break past that M15, and I might go ahead and get an entry off of this M5, depending if the other time frames are in Confluence, basically within my stop loss. This is the first level I'm interested in. So lower time frame looked like it was ready for sells, but I want to see us go lower, which, I mean, there's going to be some other levels, but let's go ahead and see how this plays out. I see we're bouncing from a little supply. Oh my God, it went way too fast. Well, anyways, that was some profit. Holy shit, I had it going too fast. Where can I see my profit at? If I click here. Okay. As of right now, you can see the profit. So we are up $1,520. My bad. I had that going way too fast. I don't use this a lot. But let me go ahead and break that down real quick. So you can see the entry was off the M15. We had the M5, M1, H4, and H1 in confluence. Now notice how we had our entry off of this M15. Obviously, we wanted the rejection right off of there. Nice fast reaction to go to profit. Well, we obviously broke past it, but it used these other levels that were in confluence. That's why having multiple time frames in confluence is key. So you see we have these other levels. We wicked into them, tapped into them, whatever, but stayed above it, and that's what gave us the push to profit. Also right here, you can see we're at 1,520. So one more good trade like this, and we would have an account pass. A little bit of an interruption. I am currently editing the video and wanted to mention this to you guys. So you know that M15 candle that I'm like, I really don't like this candle. And you can see in the video, I still took the entry off of it. You could have either took the entry off the M15 and have all those other time frames in confluence, which is totally cool. Or you could have played it a little more patient, waited for the M5, took your entry there if you wanted to. Both were correct. Both would have played out. You've seen that the M5 would have been more accurate, which, like I mentioned in the video, I didn't care for that M15 candle too much, so I possibly was just going to wait for the M5, but I was crunched for time, and all the other time frames were in confluence, so I went ahead and just took it there because, like I said, I only have 10 minutes. I'm crunched for time, so I just took what I seen, but I'm just letting you guys know that you could have played that either way. Could have took the trade off the M15, have all those time frames in confluence, or it could have been a little more patient and entered off the M5. You just risk missing the trade if it gets a hard bounce off that M15. But back to the video. Let's see. We got to be a little quick here. I'm going to go ahead and delete these levels because we really won't even have time to go over it. And let me mark this out because I'm possibly still interested in sells here to finish this off and hopefully pass this on my first try. Obviously, this isn't a real funded account or anything, but we're literally using the same exact rules. So I'm going to take sells from here to try to continue with this trend going lower. I mean, when we look at this, we're at an H4 though. I don't know if I'm really a big fan of that because on the H4 time frame, this is looking like it wants to continue trend to the upside. So see how the upside's telling a story while lower time frames also telling a story. We bounced from this H1, obviously that we had marked out. Now 2 minutes left. I'm actually just interested to see if we get a bounce from here and go lower. Let's see how price is moving. I think we could catch something short term right there. Even though on the higher time frame price is looking like it wants to continue to go up, I would be willing to try to target enough to maybe break this low. So basically, I'm looking for shorts, even though the higher time frame is looking like it wants to go bullish, right? Or it is bullish, I should say. I'm looking to see us, we broke that low. Now I want to see us break that low, and that will give us profit. So a minute left. Let's kind of let this play out a little slower, hopefully. All right, so we would be in the setup right now. Down $30, but just tapped into it. Let's see what happens. We'd still be in this trade, taking a little bit of drawdown. There we go. We'd be in some profit. I moved one of the lines by accident, but we got a minute left, so we don't have much time to spare. So we're still looking for a drop to that level down there. I'm trying to see if we could pass this first try, but what we would have to watch out for is this M1 demand down here, and that would be it. Let's see if trend can continue and hopefully give us that TP. Going back to break even, it looks like we'd be sitting at break even right now. Let's make this go a little faster. We're getting a little crunch for time. Going lower, just tapped into that M1 demand. So like I mentioned, that M1 demand was going to be a level that we would have to be watching out for. Now we need to see us break past that, which is right there. We broke past it, but price is still bouncing off of that level. 30 seconds left. It just skimmed take profit. There we go. That was take profit. 2 trades. First try, you could see I did it using the strategy very quick. So the higher time frame showed that I wanted to go bullish, right? But the lower time frame was looking like we could break those lows and go lower. All I did was mark out my levels of supply, levels of demand, and literally took the trades that I thought were going to hit from marking my levels of supply out, my levels of demand, and then reading price action. That is it. You can see we took 2 trades. That's it. 100% win rate. Would have passed a 50K funded account. So I'm just chilling right now, probably going to go on my run in about an hour, but I have a headache, so I have my massager on while I'm just editing and doing other stuff on the computer. But before we end the video, I just want to mention to you guys, losing is normal. You got to get over it, right? Losses are a part of the game. But if you're blowing your account, most of the time it's going to be because of a mistake you're making. Now that might be over trading, might be over leveraging, might be whatever, right? There's plenty of mistakes you could be making, but most of the time, if you're blowing account after account after account, it's because of something you're doing wrong. It's not the market's against you or anything like that. It's probably not your strategy. Sometimes it can be, but majority of the time, it's not the strategy. It's something you're doing wrong. And I see a lot of traders, they're blowing their accounts, over trading, over leveraging, stuff like that, right? These markets that we're currently trading right now, this is definitely not the market conditions where you want to be over trading or over leveraging. None of that. You don't want to be doing that in general, but especially in these markets. If you guys join my Discord or if you see me trade live, you know I only place 1 trade per day when I do place a trade, right? I give myself the leniency of 2, but I very rarely place 2 trades in a day. But I'm just telling you, in order to stop blowing your accounts, and if you want to start seeing consistent profitability, you need to have a good strategy, right? But you need to have your psychology, your discipline, mindset, all that in check. You need to have good discipline, good patience, good risk management. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. This is going to be the end of the video. And if you want to join the Discord and trade live with me, go ahead and click the link in the description or in the bio. And if you want to apply to the one-on-one mentorship with me, go ahead and click the link in the description. But I'm heading out of here. Everyone stay safe, be productive, and I will see you in the next video.